And there we are. So we see that the name servers for certifiedhacker.com, ns1.bluehost.com, and ns2.bluehost.com. Great. So now we can take a look at some other types of records. So host tmx certifiedhacker.com. Okay, and it's showing us where the mail server is. Now the one problem with this, and why we want to do a zone transfer, so I'm going to do host tns. We already saw that it was well, instead of certified hacker, since we can't really hack that site, let's look at host htns zone transfer.me. Pull that up so we see the name servers here. Let me copy one of those. Okay, and now I can do host, that's a lowercase -l for trying to do the zone transfer, and I'm going to do zone transfer.me, the site that we can test this on, and I'm going to paste in that, well, I can type it here, nsztm1.digi.ninja, right? So I grab the name server here, and I'm going to attempt a zone transfer with the lowercase l. I'm going to pause the video, it might take a second. Well, and right when I paused it, we got the zone transfer, so it was pretty quick actually. But we see that the zone transfer worked. We got a bunch of records here. It looks like they keep making changes here since we saw this in class. But I see www.zonetransfer, vpn.zonetransfer, all ports open.zonetransfer, OWA. So we see all these different A records. But if I didn't know that, so if I try just a host-ta www.zonetransfer.me, see if that works. Okay, and it says it has that address. And now if I try does not exist.zonetransfer.me, it doesn't found. So it's, if I can't get the zone transfer, if this zone transfer did not work, it's really a guessing game and it could take some time here. So now I have to try another thing. Let's see if does.zone transfer. Nope, that doesn't work either. And so I have to sit here and keep playing this guessing game, which might take some time. So one of the ways that I like to do this, and you kind of build the tool once and then it's in your arsenal, it's in your tool bag for later use, is that what we're going to want to do is build out a list. So what I'm going to do is basically just like we learned in module 00, I'm going to say echo some examples of different things you've seen for A records. So let's try echo, and I'll do dns-brute.txt here. And, oops, I need to tell what I'm echoing into this. So let's try www. Okay, and now let's do this again. Remember that we need the 2 carets there, otherwise it's going to replace what we have. We can try just W here. We can try, what else? Just think about for a second, pause the video. What else have you seen out there for A records, and start building your own list here. So FTP. Let's try DNS. Let's try OWA. Right? Proxy. Let's try router, firewall. What else can we think of? Email, mail, VPN. And really we're just building our brute force list here of the different ones we want to try rather than typing these out manually. Let's try DC, DC1. DC01. It's really up to you and how many you want to add into your text file here. Let's try mobile. What else can we think of here? And let's look at that. So let me do my cat. Let me get the mouse back on the screen here. DNS, and take a look at that. So we've got all these different records here that we're going to go ahead and try. Is there anything that we might be missing? VPN, those look pretty good to me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and try brute force using all these different A records. So www.example.com, w.example.com, ftp.example.com, dns.example.com. We're going to try all of these. Maybe another good one that I love seeing out there. What about DVR, NVR? All right, so those people have those camera systems out there. Try camera, cam. All right, add a couple just for good measure. Okay, let's make sure we added those to the list. So I'm going to do the tail and then DNS, and we're going to make sure that those last ones I added went to the file. Clear my screen. Okay, and so now this is where it gets a little bit challenging, and a little bit of scripting comes in handy. So if you're new to scripting, this might be a little bit out there, but just follow along with me if you can. So I'm going to use a for loop, and I'm going to, it doesn't really matter what I give this variable or what I call it, so I'm going to call it test record. And then I have to tell it what I'm looking for, what I'm going to look inside of. So in this case, I'm going to say $, put a bracket here, and I'm going to say concatenate. So open up the, or not concatenate, cat tool. Open up that text file we just created. So it's called DNS brute.txt. And then we want to tell it, well, what do we want it to do? Well, I want it to run that host command that we just learned about. So host, and what do I want to run it on? Well, I want to run it on the test record dot I can't spell and talk. certifiedhacker.com, certifiedhacker.com, that looks right. Okay, and then I'm going to tell it done, and then grep out has address. This is just going to pull out ones that actually work here. So again, I'm basically saying do this loop. So test, this variable here is going to be each record, each line within this DNS brute force. So if we went back and we looked at that, let me see if I can scroll up at all. Barely there. Okay, so everything that's in this DNS brute file, I'm going to run this command on. Host, and then whatever that variable is, .certifiedhacker.com, and then it's going to grep out whatever the results are if it has an actual address. So let's go ahead and run that. Uh-oh. DNS brute. My spelling. We didn't spell brute right. Okay, and look how fast that was. We tested probably, what, 10, 15 records, and in a matter of just a couple of seconds, it says, well, www has this address. It looks like FTP and some of those other ones weren't there, so it pulls out whatever actually has an address. So we know that www is an A record, and it has this IP address. So that's how we can brute force. If we don't, if in the probability is that you can't do a zone transfer, and so if that's the case, you might want to just do a brute force instead. And so this is how you do a brute force DNS check for A records. You can do the same thing for a CNAME, for TXT records if you want, but A record's probably going to be your easiest there. And there's some other tools like DNS Recon. We're not going to go into a lot of detail on that. You could check Canvas for that. DNS Enum. Those are some tools just to check out to do some more of your DNS enumeration. But I just wanted to show you that loop. Keep this video short. Have a great day.